and welcome to the third episode of News from the Front. This is Khador versus Legion of Everblight, with the matchup being Vlad 3 versus Callus. Vlad 3 is deploying first, as you can see here, with Callus deciding the table side. This scenario is from SteamRoller 2015. It is two fronts. Scenario number 2. This scenario has killbox with 2 rectangular zones and 2 objectives in the center of these rectangular zones. Destroying the enemy objective gives you 1 control point. Dominating your friendly zone, that is the one closest to your table edge, gives you 1 control point. Controlling the enemy zone gives you 1 control point. And dominating the enemy zone gives you 2 control points. The first of 5 control points wins the game, or via caster kill. You will be able to find the army lists in the video description, but I can tell you right now that this Vlad 3 list is the same exact one that I used in episode 2, as this game was recorded on the same night. I've played this matchup before off camera just to get an idea, because at the time I was wanting to throw my Vlad 3 list against everything, and Callus is very infantry heavy. Vlad eats a bunch of infantry. Seemed like a good matchup to me. So, we have now the Legion player, who is the same player, by the way, in episode 1. He's currently deploying his Legion force, and I'm not used to... Oh, this has been my second game against Callus. Second or third, one of the two. He's still an odd caster for Legion, because he's bringing infantry, and Legion's power is not in their infantry. Although they in my opinion, that's just something that they can explore in regards to list creation. Anyway, enough rambling. The game's about to begin. So he's doing his advanced deployment, and here we go. Khador goes first, of course, since I deployed first, and Vlad, it goes first. He casts Hand of Fate onto the Uhlans, while he does not cast Dash, so everybody else is running. And he also casted Infernal Machine onto Beast 09, so he can run a very nice 12 inches. And then the Winter Guard activate, and they run. And by the way, there are some Bogtrog ambushers, which I've never played against an ambushing unit before, and I bring this up now because you'll see some placement of some key solos here that will be a problem. So there was an abomination check with the Winter Guard because they ended their activation really close to Fenris. Now we have the Uhlans going, and they are running up quite nicely, along with Markov running to be behind them. And the Aiyana and Holt go, and they put up stealth. The War Dog goes. And then we have the Manual Dragoon go. And we have Eiryss running around. And turn passes over to Legion. So the Legion player is debating whether or not to ambush with these Bogtrog ambushers. And you can see me on the right side, setting down my cards. And he does decide to ambush with the Bogtrogs. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I've never played against an ambushing unit, so I don't really know what to expect from them. And from what I've seen on their card, they seem probably the best ambushing unit. Maybe contending for the top, I'm not really sure. So he puts the full unit of Bogtrog ambushers within 3 inches of the table edge, which we're using as the wall template closer towards the bottom right of the camera, just next to my tablet. We're using that part facing downwards as the edge of the world, because we're playing on a 6x4 mat here. So then the Strider Deathstalker goes, he aims, he fires, and he kills a Winter Guard. Then he does a Swift Hunter move, and he decides to take another shot, but checks his controller really quickly. He's taking another shot at another Winter Guard. He hits, snipes, and he passes his tough roll, stopping those stupid Deathstalker shenanigans. I always hate them. But somehow I can't really kill them easily. What do you expect, though, when they're defense 15 with stealth? So now he's deciding what to do, and he asks Eiryss' defensive stats, and also whether or not he'd be activating in the back arc of Eiryss, and I clarified that yes, he would be. So, and then I pointed out one guy that Yes, this guy right here that we're now talking about. Whether or not he is in the back arc of Eiryss, and I gave it to him. Because we weren't really sure, so now the Bogtrogger's ambushers activate, and they're issuing a charge order. So one charges Eiryss in the back, another one charges Eiryss in the back. Then we have the unit leader going after Joe. Like I said, I haven't played against ambushers, so I basically gave him my very important support solos on a silver platter. So this is not going to end very well for me. So now he's making his attacks onto Eiryss with the two that have charge, and apparently they also have powerful charge too, so they're mat 8 while activating in the back arc. So these guys are mat 10. That's not a very good start right there. So first one hits, and Eiryss just dies. Just like that, one go. Then we have the next one that's going after Joe. He misses. That's the one that charged. This is the one that charged Eiryss, and he. Actually, no, not the second one. Yeah, the one closer to the crate. Because I don't think he was in the second one that charged Eiryss. I don't think he was in range to go after Joe. Anyway, the Legionnaires then activate, and they're just running because they're not really here to do much. And they're here for Callus's feet to make a bunch of incubi. They're not actually here to kill things, although they kind of can when they have Ignite placed on them. But he's putting Ignite on the Praetorian Swordsmen who are activating right now and running up. And they're just about finished, and he checks his command and makes sure everybody's in formation. Then I think a lot of the back two that are towards the house inside of the zone were out of formation, but since the unit's fearless, it really doesn't matter. Then a Ravagore activates and he fires at an Uhlan, and I think he is indeed out of range. So then we check deviation and distance. So it went towards the 4, as you can see, and the scalar template is placed inside of the zone. The second Ravagore activates. This time he puts his Animus up, unlike with the first one, and he takes a shot. Well, I think he's checking line of sight to the Winter Guard, and as you can see, I don't have a laser line yet, so I had to borrow a laser from the BattleTech guys that are playing right next to us. And with that, we were able to determine that he had line of sight to that Winter Guard. So he's hit. He's on fire. Pass his tough roll though, because he's a man like that. Then we've got Callus activating, and he should be putting up. He does indeed put up Ignite. And then we have the Shepherd go, or Ravagore attachment, as I like calling them. Both of them go, remove Fury, or hang by the Ravagores. Then Callus just quickly checks his control area around. And a key thing to note here, Callus did not feat this turn. So keep that in mind when you can see what I'm doing now on my turn, which happens right now. So then a fire check on the Winter Guard, and fire goes out. Then clean up all the tokens, and Vlad gets a stack, check his control area, also debating whether or not to upkeep his spells. All still looking, check control area once again. I'm deciding what to do on this turn, which is something I should be doing more of. I play very, very aggressively, and I don't think very much when I'm playing. I just go kill, 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 kill. So this is a trend I should keep up. Enough with my rambling. So now with the Dracoon activates, he stops, checks Vlad's control area, and he's firing his shield cannon. And he's out of stealth range. Actually, no, he was in stealth range. To me, it looked like here that he was out. But apparently, we ruled on the table that he was in. So then Vlad activates, he puts Dash up, checks his control to see who was in it, and then he moves up. He checks Killbox first before moving up, so he just needs to move a little bit up. So he moves up to toe the hill, and he feats. So now, the Winter Guard go, and they bob and weave, and thanks to Dash, they're a very, very nice speed 7 here. Don't you just love speed 7 Winter Guard that can spray 8, and there's 13 of them in this case? Or is it 12? Either way. So they're now adjusting, and everybody's in formation, so now we start. the Rocket Man fires first at a bog drag, and he misses, so it deviates, and I check the range to see how much it actually deviates. So I still grabbed the 3 that I was shooting at, and the center guy, I don't do anything on blast damage, so that's very exciting. So now we have one of the Winter Guards spraying, rolling to hit, and so far I've killed 2 of them. So I've killed all the ones that I've sprayed out with that guy, and then I'm spraying at another guy, and another bog drog with another Winter Guard. So far, doing pretty good, clearing these off, but I still expose Eiryss and Joe, but that's a lesson that I will never forget whenever I see an ambushing unit. So now the Winter Guard, the standard, fires a solid shot. Apparently he missed. So now I check the Winter Guard that's closest to the camera, and he wasn't currently being engaged by that bog drag he was going to try to shoot at. So now I have a Winter Guard spraying at the Legionnaires that are behind the wall, killing one of them, hitting and killing another, hitting and killing. Actually, that did not kill. Hitting and killing. How 10 sprays when they have 3 dice dropping low is quite effective, don't you think? So then I have one spray go off at the Deathstalker and missed. They need 10s to hit here, so they're either so the first guy that fired rolled a 9, the other one rolled a 7, so they're not really doing anything. So now the Winter Guard next to the objective on the left-hand side sprayed at some more Legionnaires and hit. Not doing quite well there. So now that's the unit, as I'm picking up the aim fire tokens, which are very, very helpful. I suggest you pick them up from these on minis. Then I have the Uhlans go, and they're charging the Praetorians, not the Praetorians, that's Scorn, the Nis Swordsmen, whatever they're called. The Weapon Master unit that are powered on and they have 2 attacks. So now Uhlans are going after them, and I'm doing impact attacks, and then charges. I didn't cycle Hand of Fate here, which I should have done. So then another one charges. I'm just trying to kill as many as possible that way, and also triggering sprint so that way I can walk away and hopefully be out of his charge range, which won't be the case, because they charge the same distance and I'll be able to walk back. So I'm finishing up with the charges here on the Uhlans, killing as many swordsmen as possible, because in this matchup, the Uhlans won't be that relevant, sadly enough. So what they're doing is, I resolved the sidestep with the guy that's farthest away from the camera here. So now I resolved the sprint, I have one of them engage a Ravagore, and then I have Fenris go in, and it causes an abomination on the Winter Guard, and they're okay. So now his charge target dies, I have a sidestep trigger, and then I check melee range on the guy over the wall, so I'm swinging over at the guy over the... I'm not swinging at the guy over the wall. So now I swing at the guy over the wall, and then I sidestep. Then I berserk with Fenris, kill another one, berserk, kill, berserk, onto the UA of the swordsman he kills. And then I have Fenris sprint to engage Ravagore, and I have both Ravagores engaged, so my forces are pretty safe from them shooting, although Ravagores are still mat 5 PS16, so they can kill these horses without a problem. I'd much rather have them be forced to do melee attacks rather than shoot me. So the Beast 09 ran through the Scalar Template and he took a point to the 4, and it's now Legion's turn 2. So the Legion player is deliberating as to what to do. He has his Ravagores tied up, and this is when he realized that he did not feat at the time that he was supposed to, because he lost a good chunk of his infantry, which, if he did not do that, I would have been in a much harder spot. So now he does his vengeance moves with the Legionnaires. He swings, he hits, and he kills. Then he swings, he misses with that attack. Then he's now going over to normal activations, and then the pasta pot, as most of them like to call it, moves up and pops out a... Is that a shredder or is that a stinger? I can't really tell with the camera here. That's a stinger. Okay. So the stinger, I believe he's activating. Okay, so he did activate. He boosted a shot, or he's... Oh no, he's not boosting a shot. So he attacked Fenris and dismounted him with a single attack after boosting, and that's... I showed the dice to the camera, but the camera wasn't able to make out the individual pips of the dice. So now he's deciding what to do after the Stinger dismounts Fenris. Still deciding what to do. Then he checks Callus's control area. Still fiddling around. Dice, whatever he can do, so that way he can get ideas and brainstorm on the fly. Originally, we were gonna have this game be timed, but we decided not to. So he activates Callus. He takes a swing at Fenris, and he boosts damage. No, he does not. So now he's contemplating casting something. He bought another attack against Fenris. And forces a tough on Fenris, so Fenris is now knocked down. And no longer engaging the Ravagore. So now this Ravagore is free to shoot, and Callus... This is still on Callus's activation. He's deciding what to do here on his activation. Then he checks his control once again, so he's deciding whether or not to feat. And he bought another attack on Fenris, and that forced another tough, and he passed it. Still deciding what to do. So now Fenris... Oh, these are flashing blades, not bot attacks. That's why he just moved. So now he did a flashing blade onto Fenris, and he died this time around. He has not feated yet as well, which makes me curious. Either he called it... He probably called it, though, and didn't place the token down. So now he's deciding what to do next. Still trying to figure out what to do next. Messing around with the measuring tape. Then he activates the Ravagore, takes a shot. Actually, he doesn't take a shot. He charges an Uhlan in front of him, and he boosts a hit on that. Then he kills that Uhlan outright. And the corpse token goes into the pasta pot. Somehow that giant horse and rider fits in there. Then he's still deciding what to do now. He's probably going to activate the swordsman now. Actually, he activates the second Ravagore first and boosts a hit on the... Oh, he's doing a double-handed throw and boosting the hit. So now he's throwing at the other Uhlan, and he's boosting that hit. And so they're hit, and they're both knocked down. So now we're boosting damage, I believe. We're debating whether or not about the extra die if he hits a certain size base size, and he would get the 3d6, which we did see, which he did get the extra die on hitting a model that's equal size or larger. So now the swordsmen go. I believe he issued a charge order. Yes, he did. So now the swordsmen are charging the Uhlans, and now I check counter charge on the Man-O Dracoon, and he charged. He charged the Ravagore. Actually, no, he charged a swordsman. And Callus did feat because that swordsman was replaced with an incubi, as you can see, as you saw him swapping models. And that also engages this Ravagore again, but it's on his turn after the Ravagore activated. So now that the Uhlan leader dies, and there's a field promotion involved. Then we have another swordsman going and attacking another Uhlan. Why there's a... So he swings, he hits, and he kills that Uhlan. Because charging weapon masters are a thing when they have a damage buff. And now they're doing overtake. This one hits and does some points of damage to that. One of the last Uhlans left. Then we have an attack going at the Man-O-War Dracoon, and that doesn't do anything. Then we now have the Legionnaires going. And one Legionnaire swings at a Winter Guard. The others swing, and one of them hits and kills. And he goes into the pasta pot. And he checked if he was engaged, if the Succubus then activates and moves up. The Shepherd goes and moves up, removes all the fury from the Rabagor. Same with the second. And he heals the Rabagor for a certain amount. Looks like a point. Then we have the remains of the Bogtrog Ambushers. It's deciding whether or not to have them charge or to walk. Actually, he first activates the Deathstalker and he aims and shoots at the unit leader and kills him. Then he does his Swift Hunter move. And there's a little debate about facing. He hits another Winter Guard and then Swift Hunter around. Like I said, I really don't like Deathstalkers. So now he activates Bogtrog Ambushers and he charges now. And I place that template down just so he can have the. Let me make sure that he has the extra 3 inches. And then this one is running around to engage more guys, even though with dash, it doesn't matter if they get engaged or not. So now we have the charge attack here going on this Winter Guard, and he just dies. Second charge goes, he hits and he dies. Then we have a massive casualties. They failed, but with the standard they had a reroll, and they were perfectly fine, rolling a 9. Then we have the Spellmarner walking up. Sorry, I should say running up, because that's what they mainly do. They run, they don't walk. What else are they there for? And then it moves on to Khador turn 3. Clean up the tokens. Vlad gets all of his focus, and I upkeep both spells, and I hand looks 2 to Beast 09. Then the Aiyana and Holt go. Holt aims, then I cast Kiss onto Callus, and it lands. Then Holt goes and he fires at a Bogtrog, hits and kills him. And he fires at another. I check line of sight for the Bogtrog, hits and kills him. Well, rolling boxcars twice in a row. And I believe they're not fleeing. Yeah, the Bogtrogs are not fleeing. So now the Winter Guard go, they bop and weave, and they go into melee to kill these Legionnaires. So now the swinging at a Legionnaire. Well, there's the standard kill, the Bogtrog that was engaged with him. Now the Winter Guard are swinging at the Legionnaires. Kills the Legionnaire, which procs an Incubi. Then we have another Legionnaire that dies, procs an Incubi. And we've got Rocket Man fired at the Pasta Pot, and so resolving who it would hit with the AoE. So a bunch of lunch ladies disappear, which is also spawning Incubi. So now the Man-O-War Dracoon goes, and he's rolling for a free strike, I want to say. Yes, this was the mount attack first, and dealt some points to the Rafagor. I really don't know why the Legion player was rolling on this turn. Post in the comments below if there's like a defensive strike or something that Callus is able to bring to his army. So now we were checking something. Then this is the Man-O-War's that was his reach attack, which killed another guy and spawned another Incubi. And now Vlad goes. Actually, no, the Uhlans go now. What's left of them. And so... Oh yes, the defensive strike from the swordsman. That's right, okay. So that kills that Uhlan. Then the mount attack from the Uhlan unit leader procs an Incubi, so now it's Lance, which hits and probably kills him, which no, it does not. And that the unit did a ride-by attack, hence why he moved after doing those attacks. Then we checked we adjusted the facing a little bit of the last bog drag down at the bottom. So now, I'm deciding what to do next. Now Vlad activates, and he actually... I think he casted Razorwind, actually. Holy... Wow, I actually casted Razorwind. That's probably the second time... Yeah, that's the second time I casted that spell. But I really, really needed it to land. And so it landed, and it killed that Incubi. Whew. Then Vlad goes, and he's now attacking. He hits. And you might be wondering, why is Vlad so close when there are two fully functional heavies that are right next to him? I know. I don't know what I was thinking either. So now we have a swordsman defensive strike going at Beast. So now Beast is swinging at Callus. He hits, and I'm rolling 3 dice because I did imprint Murderous, or I either boosted one of the two. I also did a Thresher attack with Beast. Yes, I must have done Imprint Murderous, because I'm rolling 3 dice to hit on a bunch of these. So now, Beast buys an attack at something. I'm still deciding what to swing at. Probably has to be Callus, because I rolled 3 dice. And that does yeah, so yep. That swing was at Callus, and he transferred it, and it's over to the 6 to something. Then I bought another attack at Callus, and he transfers that. The idea here was to weaken his beasts, even though, what's the point of doing that when I have Vlad right next to, essentially, in charge range of a Ravagore? You see that Ravagore that's to the left of Vlad? I don't know what I was thinking here. So now hops over to Legion turn 3, and we have a Vengeance trigger on the Legionnaire, the last one that's there, and he missed his Vengeance attack. So now, the Legion player probably sees the same thing that I see now, commentating on this video. Is like, oh, I can kill Vlad right now. He's only defense 17, which he can be dropped down by killing. By either hard rolling it, by knocking him down. I have actually had someone pick up and throw my Manowar Dragoon at Vlad to knock him down. That was actually in the Vlad 3 Morvana 2 bat rep from last year, so you can check that one out if you want to see how that occurs. Spoiler alert, I should say. So now we have Callus attacking. I think it's Callus. Either the Ravagore or Callus are attacking Beast. Something's attacking Beast. Okay, now we have... He declared something. Yeah, we're talking about the Vlad 3 assassination right now. I was like, yeah, you can get me right now. So we're checking something here. So he's still deciding what to do. So now the Death Stalker goes, he walks into the zone, and he's looking to shoot at the dog. Yep, he shoots at the dog. So he was out of range with the dog. Yay for me. So now an Incubi walked up and killed that Winter Guard there. And we have the Pasta Pot going. So he's gonna spawn a Harrier and charge and kill the dog. Oh no, he pops out a Shredder. Okay. I was expecting him to pop out a Harrier that would get the auto hit. So now we have the Legionnaire. Either the Legionnaire or the Shredder going to activate. Yep, the Legionnaire is going to activate now. And he's going to charge. He charges Aiyana and Holt, and check to reach range on the Dragoon, just to be sure. And Callus did put up Dark Guidance. Hence why he rolled 3 dice there. Then we have the the Stinger. Yeah, so he popped out another Stinger. And attacks the dog, and he's boosting damage on this. And kills the dog. And he's not tough. Oh, he is tough. But still, he's knocked down, so I don't get the guard dog bonus. So now, the Ravagore... This Ravagore is going to attack the Mandalore Dragoon that's right in front of him. And he boosts to hit. And I rolled die for some reason. Oh, yeah, there you go. He threw Vlad. He threw the Dragoon at Vlad. Like I said, this has happened to me before. So now Vlad is knocked down. And Vlad gets moved. So now we did a damage roll on Vlad to see how much see what he would take. I don't think he took anything here. So now he's looking to activate the Swordsman to put some damage on Vlad. So yep, the Swordsman go now. Oh, actually, an Incubi goes first. Then we checked free strike range of the Dragoon, but since he can't be knocked down, so he still has a melee range. And the Incubi put some damage on Vlad. Now he's activating with the Ravagore. Actually, first he activates with the Swordsman. Now to move around so the Ravagore has placement. It is able to place his base when he eventually charges at Vlad. So he puts some more damage on Vlad with the Swordsman. Then he's going to... That should have been all the Swordsman attacks. Yeah, the next Swordsman is going to swing at Vlad. He keeps pointing at it. Actually, no. So Ravagore activates, charges Vlad. Just like that. And he swings, does some damage, swings, kills. Just like that. And I was a little bit too aggressive with Vlad there. There is really no reason for him to be up so close. But that's a problem that I have with Vlad 3, is that I'm able to destroy all the infantry, but I'm not able to kill heavies quite easily. So it's still something I'm tweaking with this list, trying to figure out. But there you go. This was episode 3 of News from the Front. If you have any comments, suggestions, or things that we got wrong, please go ahead and drop a comment down below. And until the next time, this is News from the Front.